Flames trade rumors are intensifying as one esteemed NHL insider has name-dropped MacKenzie Weegar in the NHL trade rumor mill and has linked him directly to the St. Louis Blues. If Flames general manager Craig Conroy pulled the trigger on a MacKenzie Weegar trade, it would solidify that the Flames are going into a full teardown, full rebuild. So be strapped for that. But if Weegar were to be traded, I think a lot of Flames fans wouldn't be happy with this one. We're going to break it all down, but first I want to welcome you to Flames Digest. I'm Mark Griffith. If you're new around here and you love the Flames, make sure you subscribe so you can stay up to date on all the latest news, updates, reports, and rumors revolving around your Calgary Flames. We would love to welcome you to the Flames Digest family. And let's hop straight in and talk about how the Flames are still open for business despite them, kind of making loads of trades over the past few months here, kind of showing that they're going towards a full teardown. Not quite yet. It's still technically classified as a retooling until you get rid of pretty much all of your veterans. It's still, a retooling over a teardown. But as you saw before, we saw MacKenzie Weegar, and he's actually been trending a little bit in the news lately, which is pretty crazy and not necessarily something that a lot of Flames fans want to see. A lot of Flames fans want to see Weegar, kind of go through with his contract, of course, the leadership he brings. He has made it so clear that he wants to be a Calgary Flame. He wants to go through the bad times to get to the good times. He honestly should be the captain of the future. So to see his name trending, especially in the trade rumor mill, is a little bit interesting and a little bit off kilting. I don't even know what the right word to say there is, but either way, how did we get to this point of his name trending? Well, we have this article here. So NHL Rumors, the Calgary Flames are still open for business. And who's this esteemed NHL insider I was talking about in the intro of the video? Well, it is David Pagnotta of the NHL Network. So he was recently talking. So David Pagnotta on the NHL Network when asked about the Calgary Flames and if they have any more plans this offseason. So here's the question. And earlier this summer, another goalie was on the move north of the border as the Flames sent Jacob Markstrom east. The Flames have been very busy so far under general manager Craig Conroy the last couple of seasons. Do you have any updates on their plans for the rest of the offseason? And here we go from Pagnotta, the insider, the man who knows. Craig Conroy's phone lines are wide open. His door to his office is open. If you want to send him a fax, if you still do that, do it. He's willing to listen. Maybe that's how you need to reach Craig Conroy. Send him a fax. I would love to have that number. I'd send him some cute little messages via fax, get them into the dome. You've got Nazem Kadri that they are willing to trade. Now, Naz has a no movement clause. My understanding is he would be willing to go a little bit more east, not necessarily back home to Toronto, but somewhere in that vicinity. We've talked about certain players that are mentioned here and that will be mentioned. So Nazem Kadri, of course, has been involved in certain trade rumors, not as much as other players just because of his huge contract and he's a little bit older of a guy, but he could provide a contending team with a lot, both scoring, grit, championship pedigree, hockey sense. He's got it all really when it comes down to it. But is he the most tradable player? Not too sure. In addition to him, Rasmus Andersson, a man who he is the top Flame in the trade rumor mill right now. His name is always mentioned. And honestly, I think it would make sense for him to get traded more than anyone else. But anyway, in addition to him, Rasmus Andersson, they're willing to take calls still on Andersson. He has another year left on his contract. Technically he has two, I think. He has some no trade protection, but there's some belief within the Flames and within the National Hockey League that this might be his last season as a Calgary Flame, that the Flames will be seriously looking at moving him this season if something isn't done over the course of the summer, which does indeed bring us to Weegar as well. So Weegar is one of these guys as well that is being talked about. We throw Kadri's name around, Andersson's name around, and like I showed before at the beginning of this video, Weegar is now the name that is trending. So what could possibly have been going on with MacKenzie Weegar? Well, MacKenzie Weegar generated some interest over the summer as well. I believe St. Louis, before they went the direction of Philip Broberg, of course, the offer sheets with the Oilers, were kicking tires on that. I know around the draft there were some discussions, but Calgary is willing to listen on Weegar as well. So Weegar has been linked to the St. Louis Blues, but now that the Blues have picked up Broberg, he's not necessarily fully linked to the Blues anymore. What's really big here, what's crazy, what's insane, what is huge, is that the Flames are willing to listen to offers on Weegar when it was kind of thought and speculated and just sort of assumed that he would be a Flame for the tenure of his contract. I know a lot of teams would probably want him, but would want the Flames to retain, and that is not something the Flames should be doing. The Flames should retain on certain contracts if they are to trade them away, but Weegar's is not one of them because of how valuable he can be to the future of this franchise, the leadership he can provide for some of the younger guys, just his attitude of, going through the tough to get to the good, and of course he has that scoring touch. He had a career year last year, and is just a really, really good hockey player when it comes down to it, and an even better guy, and it's really important to have players who want to be in Calgary playing for this franchise. So interesting that the Flames are willing to listen. I think probably at this point that just means the Flames are willing to listen on pretty much anyone. Do we have any absolute non-tradables? I don't think so. I don't think there's anyone that's immune to this. Even some of the younger guys, I'm sure they'd be willing for the right offer. I mean, offer them a deal they can't refuse, of course. Guys like Connor Zary, maybe some of the younger guys, even a Zane Parekh, we'll see. He hasn't even played in the NHL yet, but it is interesting that Weegar is kind of now officially in the NHL trade rumor as well. So right now, Calgary is kind of open. They're unofficially entering the whole thought process of a full-on rebuild. They haven't officially gone in that direction yet, but if they're willing to listen on Kadri and Andersson and Weegar and Huberdeau even, well, that's more so us having wishful thinking. But you've got to imagine that the rebuild session is not that far behind, and it probably is true. The Flames will tear down more this season, and it should just be seen almost as pretty much a full-on rebuild. So just kind of to, go over this one more time. Pagnotta contends that Conroy is willing to move forward Kadri, who has a no movement clause but is reportedly open to moving east. Additionally, the Flames are entertaining offers for Rasmus Andersson, who has a year left on his contract. I thought it was 2. I don't know why it's 1 still, but there's speculation that this could be Andersson's last season in Calgary if no deal is reached this summer. Weegar also drew interest from teams like St. Louis over the summer, with the Flames open to exploring options for him as well. Although Calgary hasn't officially committed to a full rebuild, their willingness to listen to offers on players like these guys suggests that the further significant changes could be on the horizon. We all saw it coming. It's just crazy to have Weegar involved in this now as well. And speaking of the future, but this is, kind of the more recent future. It's not too far in the distance. Coming soon is, drum roll please, we have NHL preseason hockey this month. It is the 1st of September, and we are 3 weeks away from the Flames finally having their first NHL preseason game on September 22nd. This month has NHL hockey. Technically, I know the regular season starts up in October, but either way, we have real hockey to watch here this month. It'll be very interesting to see who plays well this preseason, who can maybe make the team out of training camp and off of a great preseason. We saw Coronado do it last year. Maybe someone else will kind of, shine in the spotlight of the preseason and make the team. It's very, very exciting, but we are not too far away from NHL hockey being back. I know a lot of people are excited. I'm one of them. Can't wait to watch the Flames play this season. Now let's wrap up this video with the comment of the day, as we love to do. And this one, of course, has to do with the recent tragic news of the passing of Johnny Gaudreau. Lots of great messages, the tribute and everyone doing everything over at the Saddlems. Very, very, a little bit heartbreaking to see, but also heartwarming seeing that the NHL community is behind Johnny Gaudreau and his brother Matthew. But this comment here, obviously hit home from Flames hockey fan. Rest in peace, Johnny. You will always be remembered as a Calgary legend. Thinking of the family and friends today, and not just today. I think for quite a while there will be a grievance period, and we'll always remember Johnny Hockey as a legend and always have their family and friends in our thoughts. Again, such tragic news, but Johnny Gaudreau, absolute legend. We love him like crazy. Rest in peace to both Johnny Gaudreau and Matthew Gaudreau. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe, look what you saw here today, and have a wonderful rest of your day.